Good evening, I'm Andrew Ross Sorkin, filling in for Charlie Rose. Sports Illustrated revealed its annual swimsuit issue on Tuesday. For over 50 years, the iconic magazine has showcased the world's most beautiful and striking figures. Joining me now is Kate Upton. She is the 2017 cover model. It is her third time on the cover in the last 6 years. And also joining me is MJ Day. She has been editor of the swimsuit issue since 2012 and has worked on each edition since 1998. And I'm pleased to have them both with me today. Thank you. You have an amazing story, which is to say that you started at the magazine literally sorting bathing suits in a closet.
Yes. It's truly working your way up from the bottom.
So let's talk about how this happened. You had been on the cover before, but you had not been in the magazine for the past 2 years. So how does this work? Do you have to beg her to be in the magazine? Do you have to beg to be in the magazine? How does this process happen?
No, I mean, Kate and I have been friends since she first was in the issue, back when she was 18. And, I mean, Kate's achieved and continues to achieve everything that we hope for, the women that are in the magazine, which is to exceed, modeling and to branch out into other areas. And, she was dominating. She dominates all of media in the industry. And of course, we want everyone to spread their wings and fly. And that's what she did. She's an actress. She's an entrepreneur. She's all of these wonderful things.
So how did it feel to be on the cover the third time? Different than the first two?
Yes. Well, every year it's that I'm on the cover is so special. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you've been on the cover. It's still such a special event. And everything that goes into making this one photo makes it special, even inside the magazine. But to see it on the cover is a whole other experience.
So did you think that you were going to be on the cover? I mean, was this a surprise to you?
Yes, it was a complete surprise. I mean, I hoped to be on the cover, but as soon as MJ told me what the theme of this year's magazine was, which was about empowering women of all shapes and sizes and ages, I knew I wanted to be in the magazine no matter what. But to be on the cover is a whole nother level.
And you're on the cover, I should say, 3 times. I told the producers this is very distracting to have just sitting right here this way. Why 3 different covers this time?
Because there were 3 amazing pictures, and I loved how they were all very, very different, but they all spoke to who Kate is in different ways. And it's like a fashion-y cover, there's like a super traditional, sexy, Sports Illustrated style cover, and then there's one where we kind of push the envelope.
Okay, so which one is, define them for us, which is which?
I mean, the jacket okay, I would say would be like our fashion moment.
Okay, there's the fashion
moment. Also a little bit of an homage to Antarctica.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then where does this count?
That's our jewelry cover, and that was sort of like a, let's just try this. The stylist, Elizabeth Sulcer, was like, let's do this. And I said, great, let's try it. And it looked amazing.
And what are you counting this one as?
And then that's, I'd say, our traditional SI kind of
this
cover.
This is the traditional?
Yeah.
Dare I, do you have a favorite?
I mean, I love them all because of how different they are. But whenever we were shooting the white string,
the white string? Is that what you're right? It's a bathing suit, or is it?
No, it's a macrame one piece.
Yes, it is.
It would be great for the topless beaches of Europe.
Exactly.
And did you know, I'm curious actually, as an editor, when you're on site watching the photos, do you know this is working or this isn't working immediately?
God, yes, absolutely.
She's an amazing editor. Well, that's what it is to be an amazing editor, is to help guide, everybody on set in the right direction so we can make the best image that we can make as efficiently as possible.
Do you know when it's working and when it's not working?
I mean, I've learned over the years when it's working and where the light's coming from and what angle they're shooting at. There's, a lot that goes into it, and the more you do it.
Is there a thing where you say it's just too far in terms of how, dare I say, how much skin you show?
I mean, there's a certain level of trust, right? So, of course, these 2, there's a lot of skin happening. I mean, even this one, because you don't know where you're pulling the jacket, etc. But there's a lot of trust that goes into it with the photographer and with the final pick. And I've worked with Yusai so many years. I trust that he was going to find the most elegant image of a sexy situation.
Right. Where does the theme of this year's magazine has so much to do with different body types. Mm-hmm. Where does that come from, and where does Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit issue, fit into culture today?
Well, I mean, I think that this year's theme comes from, the realization and, Sports Illustrated embracing that the reality of the situation is that no one should be fed one particular ideal of beauty, and that it's very subjective, and it encompasses a wide range of body types and skin colors and statures and everything and all of the above. And I think that, Sports Illustrated honestly has been one of the guiding lights in this evolution and this, cultural conversation that's now happening around the industry and what's considered acceptable and what's considered worthy of being celebrated. And our answer to that is that all body types are beautiful and all women are beautiful, and everyone has a different ideal of what beauty is.
Right. A critic might say, though, Kate Upton is still on the cover, though.
Well, Kate Upton is the person that launched this conversation 5 years ago. And something that I was thinking about today was that 5 years ago, when she appeared, people came after her about her size and how she was not a traditional standard body size for the industry.
You've heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, people flat out called me fat. There was a conversation, that was happening after my first cover. Is she fat or not? And I think that was literally what the conversation was. And, that's insane to me that anyone, I mean, honestly, anyone can call me fat, it's fine. But it's insane to me that that's actually something that we're debating. It shouldn't be if I'm fat or not. It should be how I feel. If I feel confident, if I'm proud of my body, if I'm at a good place.
So when critics talk about the objectification of women, what do you think about that? How do you think about that issue as a model, given that you're in these magazines?
I think that everybody has the right to their opinion, and everyone should have an opinion, and that's what, it's good for a strong reaction. It's good whenever you feel a strong reaction towards a photograph, when you don't have any behind the scenes of what went into the photograph. That means we're doing our job well. But I think that the most important thing and what this issue is about is finding your ideal body and having your goal weight be what you want to achieve, not what a magazine tells you should achieve.
You said recently the celebration of sexuality is in a really weird place right now. What do you mean by that?
I mean that right now it's so debatable. Women are being judged by if they're too out there with their sexuality or if they're not. Everyone is judging and evaluating everyone based on their outwardly appearance. And what I hope everyone will recognize and adopt is the thought that it's a personal choice. And so you can wear something like this on the cover of this magazine, and it doesn't mean that you're not to be respected. It doesn't mean that you're not brilliant. It doesn't mean that you can't speak to matters of world and global importance. A woman that wants to be sexy is often judged as something that is not worthy of a higher level of thinking or putting herself, in positions of power. And I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's a form of expression.
70 million people will likely see this or have seen this historically. What does it do for your career, both as a model and all of the other businesses, being an actress, other enterprises that you've gone into?
I mean, it's a huge moment in a model's career to, before social media, it was one of the only platforms that put your name in the magazine, that gave the model credit. And so it's iconic inside the modeling industry because all the models want to be inside of it. And having 70 million eyes on anything always helps your career.
By the way, are all the models friends with each other, or is this very competitive in terms of getting on the cover and this whole process?
I'd say it's competitive. I mean, a lot of the girls are friends, but I would say it's competitive. We function differently than other magazines. Every woman shoots individually. It's not like they're together shooting for long periods of time, but they're definitely friends as well. It's like a workplace.
I think that it's a friendly environment, but you're putting, the best of the best in their fields together. If there's not competition, then how are they becoming the best?
And the future of this, the print publication. I'm a New York Times guy, so I care about a print publication, but the world has moved digitally. Do you see a day where we won't be holding these things?
I hope not. I mean, I certainly see a day where, both digital and print will be equally, as revered and, I mean, we're there, our digital platforms see billions of uniques in traffic, and that is extraordinary. And we have over 1,000 images that are available to you across all of these different platforms. But I don't know. I think there's something very tangible about holding a magazine and being able to keep it if you love it, or I don't know, if you don't even love it, just to have it, go through it, and experience it. Maybe that's me being old-fashioned.
But as an editor, how much are you now thinking physically about this publication? How much are you thinking about what it's going to look like digitally? How much are you thinking, by the way, you guys now film a lot of the shoots.
Yeah.
By the way, do you like being shot in addition to the actual photographs? Is that make it easier or harder knowing that there's a video camera?
Well, I mean, it's double the work, but Sports Illustrated was really one of the first to have behind-the-scenes cameras always on set, and now you see it everywhere. But it all depends, again, on the crew, whether you like their feel and you trust them and you know what they're getting, or you don't. But I think behind the scenes is great. I think it's great to show people what goes into it.
Christie Brinkley is in this issue. How did you get her back?
Well, it actually stemmed from the 50th anniversary when I was shooting her and absolutely in awe of her at that point. And she brought Sailor, her youngest, onto the set with her, who was 16 at the time, 15 at the time. And I remember thinking, wow, she's extraordinary. And Christie's extraordinary. And I knew Alexa. I mean, I don't know her personally, but of her. And it just, a light bulb went off. Wow, wouldn't this be amazing to highlight these incredibly beautiful, extraordinary women together in the magazine that launched Christie's career.
Easy or hard to convince her to have her daughters in the magazine?
I will say I was very worried about that, because you never know how a parent is going to receive. Obviously we waited until Sailor was, 18 years old, which meant we waited for a couple of years. And then we approached her about it, and Christie has such an incredible relationship with the brand and has such strong feelings towards it and is so loyal to it that she trusted us so much that it was a resounding yes. And I was so pleased with her enthusiasm for the project. Final
question from me, and it's probably more uncomfortable for me to ask than for you to answer. How does it feel to be painted?
Oh my God. Body paint is incredible, and it is seriously, it's art, but being the canvas is... It's hard work. It's exhausting. It's a lot of just standing and not moving.
Kate Upton, thank you. MJ Day, thank you. Thank you for joining us.